Hey everybody! So in today's segment, we're going to spend a little bit of time talking about a particular aspect of car design that most people don't pay any attention to. It kind of flies underneath the radar. And that has to do with framed or frameless doors, specifically the surround that goes around the windows. Now, before you think that Trevor's lost his marbles, what the heck is he talking about? We're going to take a little road trip, and we're going to look at 2 or 3 different car manufacturers to give you an idea of what I'm talking about and how does it relate to Model 3. Now, the reason this came about is because last week there was a video that was put out by Performance Unplugged down in Hawthorne, and I linked to it in my last video, that showed the Model 3 prototype driving around where the rear windows didn't go all the way down. And you know what? It's something that even escaped me until I went and took a look at some of the videos from the test drive event at the reveal event last year, and noticed kind of the same thing. There's only a couple of little spots where the windows were shown in the back that were actually brought down, and they did not go all the way down. And of course, since that's been spreading around on the internet, there's been a lot of discussion, positive and negative, about the fact that the Model 3 windows don't go all the way down. Some are saying, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it personally. Others are saying, I'm canceling my reservation because there's no way in heck that I would actually buy a car where the windows don't go all the way down. So today, it's not a debate as to whether a frameless or a framed window design is better than another. It's just a design decision. So let's go look at a few examples to show you what the differences are and why these types of designs exist, and of course why Tesla chose to go this way on the Model 3. So let's go for a drive. All right, so here's a perfect example. This is a 2016 Audi A3, and you'll notice that it has framed doors. You'll see here that the B pillar comes up, and then you have this frame that comes around, and the door goes up inside in a little channel in here where the door seal is. Okay, the vast majority of cars you're going to see on the market are all designed like this. They have framed doors. The other kind of car design that you'll see in a door is called frameless, where there is no frame around here. It's just a piece of glass that comes up. Now, the Tesla Model S, the Model 3, in the case of the Audis, you don't get frameless doors until you get into the Audi, I believe it's the A5, or at least the S5 series. So why is this important? Well, because Tesla has always made a lot of noise about the fact that the Model 3 is competing against the BMW 3 Series in the Audi A4s. Now, speaking of the Audi S4, this is a brand new S4. I know it's a little dirty, sorry about that, but you can see here that it has a framed window. There's a seal under there where the glass goes up under. So this is not a frameless door design. Now here's an example. This is an Audi A7. This is one of their high-end vehicle sedans, and it has frameless doors. I know it's kind of hard to see here, but this looks like a frame, but it's not. This is fixed in place. And then you can see here that the glass comes up and it's exposed, and there's a little seal under there. Now, frameless doors are typically found on higher end sedans. The Model S has it, the Audi A7s have it, some of the BMWs have it. This is a different design that actually takes a little bit more engineering, especially on the seal situation right in here for water ingress to keep that out. So my buddy Nick brought his Model S over, and I wanted to show you a couple of details, some of the design aspects of this car. Apologize for the wind, it's really windy out here today. So the first thing you're going to notice on a Model S is, as I explained before in the other cars, is that it has frameless doors here. You'll see that the window is flush, got a little bit of an overhang here. And you'll notice the action here, and this is common on all cars that have frameless doors. As soon as you open the door, the window goes down ever so slightly. So as soon as I close the door, you'll see that it goes up. You'll notice the same thing here on the back door. So as soon as I close it, the window goes up. Now the reason for this is because the window has to create a positive seal, because there's no rail around the window to hold the window in place. All right, so let's talk about some of the general elements you'll find on in the case here, we're going to focus on the rear windows and the rear doors of a car. You'll notice that the vast majority of cars, and I really encourage you to look around the next time you're in a parking lot, look at most cars. You'll find that car design is mostly universal. When the designers want to have a window that goes down inside the door and folds all the way down, they have to make some compromises, because car design is always about compromise. In this case, you'll notice that on this Volkswagen, that there's a cutout here. There's a little light window in here, and this is fixed in place. It doesn't move. This is the piece that comes down. And the reason for this is if you take a look at the wheel well on the vehicle, that the wheel well starts to encroach on the cutout for the back window, so there has to make some space for the window to slide down. Well, in this case, you can't have the whole window slide down inside the door because this space here has nowhere to go. And generally with rails in the windows, that you don't want it to go on an angle or anything like that to make room, because then you can't get a positive seal around the window. And in a lot of cases, it also affects some of the protection, the crash protection that's built into the door. Now here's another take. This is a Passat, and you can see here that we have a fixed back window. And in this case, instead of cutting out the window in this part here, they did this little cutout right in here. So you can see this window actually slides down as well. Here's another example, is a Volkswagen Golf, same thing. Here's an extreme example. This is a Volkswagen Tiguan, a little small crossover, and you can see how much of the window actually goes down inside. It's actually a very small segment. It's only about 2/3 of the door. And the reason for this, again, as I mentioned in the other car, is that the wheel cutouts encroach so much into the door that there's just no space for the whole window to go down. So they make this massive cutout. It's about 10 inches or so, 12 inches, and the rest of the window is what slides down. This is a fixed piece of glass. I knew I'd find an example. This is a Volkswagen Golf R, and you can see here that the window on both the driver's side and the passenger side, hopefully you can see that. There you go. Don't go all the way down inside the door. There's just not enough room in a subcompact car like this. Look, same thing on the Passat. Passenger side, driver's side window. Not enough room for the window to go all the way down. Okay, here's the other thing. Now everybody's talking about the Model 3 in that video where the window on the back doesn't go all the way down. So let me show you something on the Model S that a lot of people don't even think about. Let's put the window down, shall we? All right, you ready for this, folks? Look. Ha! Look at that. So the next time you see a car, pay attention to this kind of thing, because not all windows in the back go all the way down. Now, just in case you think I'm picking on German cars just because that's what we looked at, that's not what we're talking about. It's not the point of the video. Case in example, this is my 2015 Lincoln MKC, or Mark C, depending on what you want to call it. It's a mid-size SUV, and you can see here in the back that the window goes all the way down, even though it does have the cutout. It's just a large enough door and a large enough aperture that allows for the window to go all the way down. You can see the window going up. There's that cutout here. There's the cutout again that I mentioned, and what that does is allows it to have a positive seal on the inside of the door frame that goes up inside here. There's actually, I can stick my 2 fingers up to almost to the first knuckle inside the door. And again, it's not a debate as to one window design is better than another. It's just the design direction that manufacturers take. Now, again, I implore you, the next time you go out into a parking lot and look at different cars, pay attention to the type of window design and various aspects of the vehicle, and you'll find that for the most part, they're fairly consistent. Hey, while you're at it, when you're out looking at cars, look at the door handles. 99% of cars on the market have this type of door handle. It's a pull mechanism like that. In the past, you'd have cars that, even today, occasionally you'll find some of the door handles where you stick in, you pull up like that. In the case of Tesla, they like flush door handles because it helps with aerodynamics and fuel economy. Well, not in the case of economy, but in their case, it's range on the vehicle. But it adds a nice little touch. Some call it a gimmick, but it does actually make sense. And it's a nice little extra touch because, of course, it is the first point of contact on any vehicle that people come to is always the door handle. So if you make something special, people come to appreciate that. Okay, since we're talking about door handles, let's just talk about the Model S door handles. You'll see here that it's flush with the vehicle, and you can either activate it by touching it or with the key fob in your pocket. But one thing you'll notice here is that when you touch it and it pops out, the way this works is that it's not mechanical. When you pull on this, there's no cable that actually connects to the to the latch on the door, it's actually 2 micro switches, one on either side. And when you pull on it, it activates a door popper. So if I just tug on it, like that, you'll hear it click open. Let's do that again. So if I just pull on it, you'll hear it click, and then it pops the door open like that. Now, of course, on a Model 3, you can't have the self-presenting door handles because I've read online that the replacement cost of those door handles is about $800 US. So that's $3,600, you know, worst case scenario, on a vehicle of $35,000 base price. You're talking almost 10% of the vehicle cost. So you can't put fancy door handles like that on a car. But the design of the Model 3 door handle, I'm sitting on the right-hand side of the vehicle here, is an L shape. It's L like this, and the way you open it, of course, when you approach the vehicle, in this case here, it's always your right-hand side right hand that opens the door. You push on the thick part of the door, and it pops out the door handle, and you just. So it's one motion. I know there were some videos online where people thought that it actually takes two hands to open the door, but that's not the case. It's a one-hand motion, push and pull. And of course, on the driver's side, it's exactly the opposite. You use your left hand to open the door, push and pull. And they're soft close, by the way, so they're actually quite nice. So in the end, what does it really mean? Why did Tesla choose to do frameless doors on the Model S, the Model X, and the upcoming Model 3? I think in some ways it has to do with the fact that they see that as a premium feature. It's typically found on higher-end sedans and higher-end sports cars. It's just a look thing. It's not like one design is better than another. It's just a Tesla design element that they decide to put in the car. So because of the fact that they're always positioning the Model 3 against the Audi A3 and the BMW 3 Series, it really speaks to the market segment that they're trying to push the car against. Like I said, it's not one is better than another. It's just a design decision they decided to make. Anyhow, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. So if you want to follow us on Twitter, the handle is @Model3Owners. You can join our forum at Model3ownersclub.com, and appreciate if you take a look at our Patreon page at patreon.com/Model3Owners Club. Anyhow, that's it for today. We'll talk to you next time. Thanks for watching.